Hello everyone, welcome to Aptiplus Academy for Soul Officers. This is the part 2 of the important MCQs for the history, and I have covered 10 important MCQs in the history in the part 1. You can watch that video in the playlist in the Aptiplus YouTube channel. And the learning objective, as we all know, is to discuss the important or most probable questions for the WBCS prelims and mains exam based on the PYQ analysis. Okay? And to cover maximum number of MCQs in the minimum number of time, and to ensure the high score in prelims and MCQ based mains paper in WBCS. So this is the learning objective. So without wasting any time, let us begin the questions. The first question for today is arrange the following dynasties in Delhi Sultanate in the chronological order. So these are the dynasties in Delhi Sultanate, and you have to arrange them in the chronological order which came first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. Then you'll find that if the first to come in Delhi is the Ilvari Turks. So Ilvari Turks came first and they ruled from 1206 to 1290. Okay. The second one to come in Delhi were the Khiljis, right? Khiljis come in 1290. They came in 1290 and then they ruled up to 1320. Then came the Tughlaqs. Okay, so Tughlaq came third, and Tughlaqs ruled from 1320 to the 1413, right? Then came the Sayyids. So Sayyids ruled from 1451 to 1526. Then came, and the last to come in Delhi were the Lodhis. Okay, so Lodhis ruled from 1451 to 1526. Then came the Baburs. Okay, so Babur, which is the Mughal rule, came after this. So you have to remember this point, right? The answer is D. So D is the answer, right? So these are the rulers and the dynasties, right? So you can read here the important points. Now moving on to next question. Next question is question number 2. Who was the monk who influenced Asoka to embrace Buddhism? Okay, so Asoka, the great ruler, changed his religion to Buddhism. He joined Buddhism after the Kalinga War, right? And the person who was responsible for the conversion of Asoka to Buddhism was the answer is what? Answer is Upagupta. Okay, so Upagupta. So B is the answer, right? So you have to remember that the Asoka has been particularly influenced by the famous Buddhist monk Upagupta. Okay. So next question is the great ruler Harshavardhan was defeated by which of the following ruler, right? So Harshavardhana was a great ruler from North India, but he was also defeated by which king? Okay. So answer is B. Pulkesin II was the ruler from the Chalukya kingdom. Okay. And he basically defeated the Harshavardhan. Okay. So this is an important point, and he defeated the Harshavardhan in the bank of Narmada river. Okay. So Narmada is considered an important river because it divides the north and south. So he was titled the Dakshin Patheswari. Okay, so Dakshin Patheswari after defeating the Harshavardhana. So the Chalukya king Pulkesin II was called the Dakshin Patheswari. So you have to remember this point. Now moving on to next question. Next question is the grandson of Asoka who accepted Jainism. Answer is what? A. Sampriti. So the Sampriti was the grandson of Asoka and he accepted Jainism. Okay. So the Emperor Sampriti was the grandson of Emperor Asoka and he reigned from 224 to 274 BCE. ठीक है, तो इन्होंने इस टाइम पे रूल किया था, राइट? एंड द क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 इज हु वाज द लास्ट रूलर ऑफ सिसुनागा डायनेस्टी? ठीक है, तो सिसुनागा डायनेस्टी वी ऑल नो दैट इट वाज फाउंडेड बाय सिसुनागा. ठीक है, बट वेरी few people know about the last ruler of Sisunaga dynasty, right? The last ruler of Sisunaga dynasty was Nandivardhan, right? So Nandivardhan was the last ruler of Sisunaga dynasty, right? So the last ruler of Haryanga dynasty, Nagadasaka, was thrown over by his Amatya, who was the Sisunaga, and established the Sisunaga dynasty in 412. ठीक है, तो Sisunaga dynasty was established by the Sisunaga after throwing the Nagadasaka. Right, so Nagadasaka was thrown over by the Sisunaga, and the Nandivardhan was the last ruler of Sisunaga dynasty. Okay, so the last ruler of Sisunaga dynasty was the Nandivardhan. During the ancient time in India, there used to be 16 kingdoms who were called the Sora Mahajanapada, and out of Sora Mahajanapada, the Magadha was the most prominent one. And you have to remember all the dynasties of Magadha and the rulers who ruled in these dynasties. Okay, so the Haryanga dynasty was an important dynasty, and it was founded by Bimbisara, right? And the patron of Haryanka dynasty was the Gautam Buddha. Okay, so Gautam Buddha basically patronized the Haryanka dynasty, and the Sisunag dynasty was also the dynasty in the Magadha. Okay, it came after Haryanka dynasty, and then came the Nanda dynasty. Right after the Sisunag dynasty came the Nanda dynasty, then came the Mauryan dynasty. ठीक है, and then came the Sunga dynasty and the Kanva dynasty. So these are the important dynasties: Kanva dynasty, Sunga dynasty, Mauryan dynasties, etc. So they are the important dynasties which ruled in Magadha. ठीक है, so these are the chronology, so you need to remember these things. ठीक है, so Haryanka dynasty which ruled from 560 BC to 413 BC was established by Bimbisara. ठीक है, then came the Ajatasattu, Udayin, right? So they were all the kings during the Buddha. ठीक है, so Buddha के टाइम में ये सब kings थे. उसके बाद आया Sisunaka dynasty, right? You can see the rulers. Then came the Nanda dynasty, right? Next question is the question number 6, which is the year in which Ashoka invaded Kalinga. ठीक है, so Kalinga was the important moment for India and also for the Ashoka, right? And it was the year 261 BC in which the Ashoka invaded the Kalinga. ठीक है, so you have to remember this point. The 13th rock edict of Ashoka elaborates the Kalinga war. ठीक है, तो रॉक एडिक्ट भी काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो कौन सी रॉक एडिक्ट जो डिस्क्राइब करता है कलिंगा वॉर के बारे में? तो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट दैट द 13th रॉक एडिक्ट बेसिकली डिस्क्राइब्स अबाउट दिस पॉइंट. ठीक है, द क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 इज द सीरियन एम्बेसडर हु वाज इन द कोर्ट ऑफ बिंदुसारा. राइट, तो सीरियन एम्बेसडर वाज सेंट टू द कोर्ट ऑफ बिंदुसारा एंड हु वाज ही? आंसर इज बी, Dimachus. So Dimachus was the Syrian ambassador and he was sent by Antiochus I, right? And he was in the court of Bindusara. ठीक है, तो this is the important question that you need to know. Next question is question number 8. Which Saka ruler was responsible for important irrigation works in Saurashtra? ठीक है, तो irrigation related work से ये related थे. तो कौन सी साका रूलर था ये? तो आपको आंसर करना है. आंसर इज ए, रुद्रदमन. ठीक है, सो रुद्रदमन वॉज द साका रूलर हु वॉज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर इंपॉर्टेंट इरीगेशन वर्क्स इन सौराष्ट्र विच इज़ इन द गुजरात. ठीक है, एंड हिज मिलिट्री अचीवमेंट्स, हिज टेरिटरीज एंड हिज मेनी पर्सनल क्वालिटीज आर हाईलाइटेड इन द फेमस Junagadh inscription. So this is the very inscription, a very important inscription. So Junagadh inscription is related to whom? The Rudradaman, and Rudradaman was a Saka ruler. ठीक है, and it was written in 150 AD. So it was written in 150 AD. ठीक है, so you have to remember this point, and it is the first major inscription to be written in Sanskrit. So these are the important points you need to know. ठीक है, so Junagadh inscription किससे related है? रुद्रदमन से related है, 150 AD में लिखा गया था. ठीक है, and रुद्रदमन was related to irrigation works in Saurashtra, and this was the first major inscription written in Sanskrit. ठीक है, संस्कृत में लिखा गया था, right? And the question number 9 is whom did the Skandagupta appointed as the provincial governor of Saurashtra? ठीक है, तो स्कंदगुप्त के टाइम में इन्होंने कौन सी रूलर को एज अ गवर्नर अपॉइंट किया था सौराष्ट्र का? ठीक है, एंड द आंसर इज बी. ठीक है, सो परनादत्ता वाज द गवर्नर ऑफ द सौराष्ट्र अपॉइंटेड बाय स्कंदगुप्ता. ठीक है, सो द परनादत्ता, यू नीड टू रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट, वाज द गोपत्री. सो गोपत्री वाज द टर्म यूज्ड फॉर द गवर्नर ड्यूरिंग द गुप्ता पीरियड. ठीक है, तो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट. And the question number 10 or the last question for today is Gyak and Kyari are located in which of the following places? ठीक है, so Gyak and Kyari are important places and they are the examples of Neolithic places in India. ठीक है, so Neolithic place के ये places हैं, right? Answer is लद्दाख. ठीक है, सो लद्दाख में ये पाया गया, राइट? गियाक एंड क्यारी आर लोकेटेड इन लद्दाख एंड दे आर एग्जांपल्स ऑफ न्यूलिथिक साइट्स. ठीक है, सो न्यूलिथिक पीरियड में काफ़ी ज़्यादा एग्रीकल्चर का डेवलपमेंट हुआ था, राइट? सो एग्रीकल्चरल रेवोल्यूशन बेसिकली हैपेंड ड्यूरिंग द न्यूलिथिक पीरियड. So far as the Neolithic sites are concerned, you need to know the important Neolithic sites from India, right? So Mehergarh is an important Neolithic site that is located in Balochistan, Pakistan, and in the before the independence this was part of India. ठीक है, तो मेहरगढ़ कहाँ पे है? बलूचिस्तान रीजन में. सो टाइम स्पैन इज 7000 BC, राइट? यहाँ पे कॉटन एंड वीट का प्रोडक्शन पाया गया है, राइट? यू नीड टू नो अबाउट इट, एंड द मड ब्रिक हाउसेस वर आल्सो फाउंड देयर. And next is the Burjahom. So Burjahom is a place in Kashmir and the time period is 2700 BC. ठीक है, तो दिस इज़ एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, यहाँ पे डोमेस्टिकेटेड डॉग्स पाया गया है, राइट. एंड यू कैन सी इन द मैप हियर, राइट, बुर्जा होम. एंड देर इज़ गुफक्राल. सो गुफक्राल इज़ ऑल्सो इन कश्मीर एंड 2000 BC है इसका टाइम पीरियड, ठीक है. एंड दिस इज़ एन इम्पॉर्टेंट बिकॉज यहाँ पे डोमेस्टिकेशन ऑफ एनिमल भी पाया गया है, राइट. एंड पॉलीस्टोन टूल्स पाया गया है. And there is Chirand, ठीक है. Chirand is an important Neolithic site in Bihar, right, and it is the time period is the 2000 BC, right, and it used to make weapons and tools from the bones, right, animal bones से tool बनाया जाता था यहाँ पे. And there is Piklihal, Brahmagiri, Maski, Hallur, ठीक है, एंड संगन कल्लू. सो दीज आर द इम्पॉर्टेंट साइट्स इन साउथ इंडिया, ठीक है. तो अगर आप ये सब नाम अगर कोई MCQ में है तो आपको याद रखना है, दीज आर द नेम्स विच आर दी न्यूलिथिक साइट्स इन साउथ इंडिया, ठीक है. पिकलीहाल, ब्रह्मगिरी, मास्की, हलूर, टेकलकोटा, राइट, संगन कल्लू एट्सेट्रा. तो इसका टाइम पीरियड है 2000 BC to 1000 BC, ठीक है. एंड द पीपल देयर वर द कैटल हर्डर्स, राइट. एंड द एस माउंट्स वर ऑल्सो फाउंड देयर, ठीक है. तो एस का जो है माउंट भी पाया गया था यहाँ पे. तो नेक्स्ट इज दी पयमपल्ली. पयमपल्ली इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट साइट लोकेटेड इन तमिलनाडु, राइट, एंड द टाइम पीरियड इज 2000 to 1000 BC. And the next region is the Utnur, which is located in Andhra Pradesh, and the time period is 2000 to 1000 BC. So these are the important site, and one of the important site that has been missed here is the Daozeli Hudding. So Daozeli Hudding is the site इन दी नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन, ठीक है. तो ये साइट है असम में. सो दाउजली हडिंग इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट साइट एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो अ न्यूलिथिक साइट. सो एग्जाम में अगर पूछा गया आपको कि विच इज़ दी the Neolithic site in Northeast India, then you should know that the Daozeli Hudding is the Neolithic sites in North India. So these are the important Neolithic sites that you need to know. You must remember all the sites, right? So these are the questions that might be asked in the exam. So these were the important questions that we discussed in this video, ठीक है. So we discussed 10 important questions and we'll be covering all the important questions by covering all the topics, all the important subjects, ठीक है. 10 questions करके हम सभी questions, सभी टॉपिक कवर करेंगे. So was all the WBCS videos in our playlist. So having said that, I'm concluding this session. We'll meet again in the next video. Till then, take care. Thank you.